And this is what in my mind's one of the best looking freebie first person shooters, Paladins. And a lot of the settings I've got on maximum. This machine's not really having too much problems at all. I mean, it's even nudging 50 frames per second, which is more than enough to play this sort of game. So I think on average 40 frames per second is easily obtainable here, and anything else above that's a bonus. Okay, so that's Paladins. This is Realm Royale, and I've got the majority of settings set to medium, and we're getting hovering near 60 frames per second. So I think if you can live with that or really want high settings, then this machine should be able to handle that. It's a similar game, I think, to Fortnite and Paladins. I think probably the few more characters looking around, it's nudging slightly back down to high 30s. Okay, so that's Realm Royale. This is Rocket League. Now I've got it on fairly high quality with a relatively low resolution, and we're getting mid-20s, which for esport that's not too bad. But I think ideally you want 30 frames per second, so I'll probably get some of that quality down a touch. It's not even on the lowest resolution though. Okay, so that's Rocket League. This is Team Fortress, which is fast and furious gameplay to say the least, with not a bad looking game to be honest. As expected, there's no way this machine will have any problems playing this. Nudging 90 frames per second on the highest quality. Well, some of the settings are set to high anyway. You'd probably put it on maximum quality without compromising the frame rate too much. So if you want to have a bash at Team Fortress, this machine will do it. Now if you've played any of the games in the Mass Effect series, something like this will be quite familiar to you. It's a third person game called Warframe, and with a fair bit going on, trying to get a firefight going on this outdoor level. We're getting nudging 30 frames per second, which is decent enough. Get a few more characters going. Obviously there's more to it than to this game than some mindless shooting anyway, which saying that, it's all I seem to be doing at the moment, but yeah, I'm sure later on there'll be a lot more thought involved. Looking at this opening level here, it's quite a nicely designed game, and made even better because it's actually a freebie. Okay, so that's Warframe. This is Valorant, and on medium quality we're getting nudging 60 frames per second. There's not much of a firefight going on at the moment, but just generally moving around. I'll try and get some action going. So I suppose if you want the highest quality settings at the expense of frames per second, then go for it, but I'm quite happy with medium. And nudging 60. It's not too taxing game, this one. Okay, so that's Valorant. This is FIFA 2018. Now, as an experiment, I'm recording this on bandicam, and before I started the recording it was a pretty rock solid 60 frames per second on medium quality, and the frame rate only drops during the cutscenes, but during gameplay it's nudging 60. So even with bandicam on, the game still gets in a relatively good frame rate. You could probably even get away with putting these settings onto high, but as with a lot of these games I can't really tell the difference between medium and high. Okay, so that's FIFA 2018. This is Forza Horizon 4. Now, I did notice that this game wouldn't start with bandicam, so I've gone back to the usual method of recording on an external camera. Now, I've put all the graphical quality settings down to low or very low as they possibly could. Some goes down to very low, and the resolution is on the lowest. On any settings that had an on-off flag, I've set to off. And what I'll do is I'll pause the recording and then we can review the results at the end. I've also locked the frame rate to 30 frames per second. There's no way this will get to 60. So looking at the gaming benchmark results, the target was 30 frames per second and we nearly achieved it, the average being 25 frames per second. Now look at the other results, it looks like it's the GPU that held this system back rather than the CPU. So in summary, you can play this game, but you'd have to switch off all the quality settings or put them down to the minimum, and also put the resolution down to the minimum. It's not going to look great, but you can play it. Right, so that's Forza Horizon 4. Okay, just to sum up then on this Elite 8300, I've benchmarked first-person shooter games because they tax the system the most, and I did a football game, FIFA 2018, didn't have too much problems with that. Now, with regard to driving games, Forza Horizon 4, you could play it, but you'd have to put the resolution down to the minimum and all the quality settings down to the minimal, switch them off if there was on-off flag. But the limiting factor was the GPU. So if you want a better driving game experience, maybe look at games that are prior to Forza Horizon 4 by 1 or 2 years. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe. If you've got any comments or want me to benchmark a particular game on this system, let me know. Thanks for watching.